Hey everybody, this is Fran Fraschella, draft expert and basketball junkie. To everybody who's watching, let's get our friends at General Manager Games the subscribers they deserve. Just press that red subscriber button and immerse yourself in sports AI through GM Games content. And on Twitter, it's GM_games. Let's get after it. Let's go.
Welcome back to this Season 3, Episode 2 of the Toronto Blue Jays Career Sim. I'm JayBlue at Jays From Away, and you're watching on General Manager Games on YouTube. And after last season's very poor year with the Toronto Blue Jays, we are now looking to improve the team. It's the offseason in 2021-2022, and we just had free agency filings. So let's just take a quick look. We have already looked at some of the top free agents and some of the arbitration rulings, and I just want to now take a look at, we've made a couple of offers in the free agent market. We're just going to head there now. I think it's here under reports and info. And yeah, we've offered James Paxton. He's coming off a rough year in terms of, I think, injury. With the Chicago Cubs, just 16 and 2/3 innings in the major league, 17 walks. Obviously, we think that he's going to be better than that. So we have made him an offer, and we've also offered an outfielder, Shoji Kinoshita, from Japan. He's an international free agent, but he's also a young guy. So we're offering him a minor league contract because if they're 23 or under, according to Major League rules now, they are actually, you can't offer them a Major League contract. I don't know if that's true in the game. I think you can offer them a Major League contract in the game. We're offering him a $250,000 bonus, but in the game, I think you can, but in Major League rules, the way international free agency works now is because he's a free agent, we're not posting, or his host team is not posting him. He would be available under the same rules that govern the international free agents and the bonus pools and everything like that. And so here we are. We have there's some really good relievers. Liam Hendricks is on the market. He had a rough year last year. He's still asking for $12 million. So we've seen, an average over 5 years. That rough part of the year was just part of the year. So there are relievers. Now, if we sort of look at our pitching staff, so right now we have let whoever is going to free agency go. Our starting rotation, it looks pretty weak. I mean, Hyunjin Ryu was not good last year, so really our top pitchers are Nate Pearson, Anthony Kay. So obviously we want to upgrade that, and James Paxton could help if he is able to rebound. We still have Ken Giles, we still have Wade Davis. Danny Jimenez wasn't bad. Excellent strikeout rate for him, but we can definitely upgrade the pitching staff. And in the minor leagues, we have Joey Murray, who is okay in AAA. Simeon Woods Richardson just got his feet wet in AAA, so he's probably going to have another at least 3 months in the minor leagues before I think he's ready. Jordan Romano could come back up to the majors. Patrick Murphy wasn't that great. Kaz Tsutsumi is a minor leaguer. He's not. I don't think he's going to be much of a major leaguer. Julian Fernandez also struggled in his first taste of the AAA level. Kyle Keller, I think we claimed him on waivers. Yeah, we claimed him on waivers just last month. Excellent stuff. So he could be a part of the future. I mean, if you look at that with the Dodgers, he struck out 39 in 25 and a third innings. So he could definitely be part of our staff going forward. Curtis Taylor also got his feet wet in the majors and did quite well. So we do have some pitchers here in the minors that could be filling a major league role. But really, I would love to add, at the major league level, I would love to add one starter, one reliever, if not two relievers. And I think that would be really helpful going forward. I don't want to spend too much money, and I'm just going to check out our situation here for salaries. We have a budget of $140 million for salaries, and right now we're at about $100 million. So we do have about $40 million to spend. If we could get rid of Ryu Martinez, if we could trade Randall Grichuk, I'd also be very amenable to that. But nobody wants him 1-for-1. Nobody wants JD Martinez 1-for-1. We're paying him $17.4 million this year. Everybody else is under a very manageable contract. We're really actually not bad there. Vlad Guerrero getting $6.3 million in arbitration, so he's costing a little bit more than we would have hoped. But we still have about $40 million in salary. So we could do stuff if we wanted to retain, let's say, and I'm going to try it to see what happens. If we retain even 50% of Ryu's salary, I wonder if we might have somebody interested. It seems to be going pretty quickly, which means that probably nobody's interested. And no, nobody's interested in a 1-to-1 offer for Ryu. So we really have to hope for a bounce back season from him. And again, I'm going to try the same thing for JD Martinez. Let's shop him around. We're going to retain even 60% of his salary. Yeah, 65. I just want to get anybody interested in him. But again, the speed that it's going through here is probably not encouraging. And nope, nothing. So yeah, I think we're stuck with Martinez for another year. So on the pitching side, one starter, one reliever. That's kind of what we're going after. In terms of hitters, I think at catcher we're going to be okay. Danny Jansen will have like maybe half a season of a shot, but Alejandro Kirk is probably going to give him a run for his money in spring training. Kevin Biggio last year was a little better, but he was not great. Santiago Espinal was not great. Luis Garcia was okay. He did fade at the end of the year, so hopefully he's going to improve. But again, he is the youngest of the bunch here. Bo Bichette was okay, but still a little bit disappointing. But he does have that potential. So, and he's still 23. So, I'm not going to make any changes here just yet. Garcia offers some solid potential here as a third baseman, and you can see he's up to 50 now for his eye. So if he can get that up even to 60, I'm going to be very happy. So that's kind of our infield. Is right now it's Guerrero, Biggio, Garcia, and Bichette. Very young infield. I mean, Guerrero's 22, Biggio's 26, Garcia's 21, and Bichette is 23. These are our pitching stats, so let's go to batting stats just so we can have them here. Gurriel had a down year. He still had some power, but he only played in 73 games, and that batting average just took a dive. And I actually want to see his BABIP and see what's happening there. His BABIP was 226, so a really, really poor BABIP last year. And that drop from about league average, about 80 points, that drop in BABIP really, really hampered him. And you can see his batting average dropped like 55 points. So it's actually not bad considering the fact that his BABIP dropped so much, like 80 points, that his batting average didn't drop the same amount. That's actually encouraging. And his slugging percentage, his batting average dropped about 55 points. His slugging percentage only dropped 30, which means he actually hit for more power. He had a better isolated power stat. So I'm not giving up on Lourdes Gurriel. I think a lot of that could have been luck. Billy McKinney had a very strong year, 1.9 WAR. I think that was second on the team in terms of the batters. Yusniel Diaz has some potential. He's still got 1 game suspension to sit. If he can, again, that's the same thing with Gurriel. He had a very low batting average, and that really dropped his on-base percentage. And that BABIP can tell us a story. Yeah, we have here like almost a 65-point drop in BABIP, and that translated to a 37-point drop in batting average, but again, despite that big drop in batting average, his power numbers went up. So 15 home runs for the Blue Jays in 97 games. So Diaz definitely has potential, and that 79 OPS plus is not the worst thing. And I'm going to have him play center field in spring training just to get him... his, and again, he's still young enough that he may be able to pick up, 5 to 10 points in the rating for his center field play. Grichuk, he's okay. So offensively, I think, we can chalk things up to a couple of bad years. If somebody is available in free agency, or if a trade comes up, I tend not to trade as much in OOTP. But if we do have something coming up in a trade, we are in the wrong place. We want to go here, free agents. If somebody is available in free agency that is affordable, so for example, Arenado, I think he was asking for $50 million a year. Obviously not within our budget. And Baez, I think he's fading, even though he's only 28. He's also asking for $14 million, and it's a compensation pick, so I don't want to lose a draft pick for that. Asdrubal Cabrera wouldn't be bad, but I have a feeling that on a good year, Luis Garcia can produce almost as much as Asdrubal Cabrera, so he's not really an upgrade. Tommy Pham, again, not really an upgrade. Buster Posey, he had a solid year, but again, what he would cost would be $15 million, and so it's not worth it. Jorge Soler, again, not really much of an upgrade. So a lot of these guys, they may be somewhat attractive, but at the prices that they are commanding. Ehire Adrianza. Again, I don't think he's much of an upgrade from what we've already got in the infield. So Albert Almora, again, not much of an upgrade. That and probably not an upgrade at all. That on base percentage with 292 in the majors with Colorado, 278, 301, 271. Like really, he's not giving us very much, and he's only asking for $1 million. Andrew Applin, he hasn't played in the majors, so he's a veteran minor leaguer, but he's not really offering us much as a major leaguer. So Orlando Arcia, again, offensively very poor in his time in the major leagues. Jackie Bradley Jr., again, not much of an upgrade. So free agency isn't offering us much. Michael Brantley, maybe. He is older. He's 34. He's asking for $9 million. And how many years? 3 years. 2 years plus a player option, which I would always try to convert to a team option rather than a player option. Defensively in left field, I'd consider Brantley if I didn't have faith that Gurriel was going to bounce back. He's been excellent offensively. He's okay defensively. And if I compare him to Gurriel, here we go. Toronto players, Lourdes Gurriel. If we compare him with Gurriel, okay, so he's better offensively here. Definitely going to have more on base. And in terms of potential there, Brantley has already reached his potential. Defensively, so if we look at stats last year, so their rate stats, okay, so much, much better here. 100-point difference in OBP, but the slugging percentage wasn't that different. And considering a 100-point difference in batting average, that's telling me, 14 home runs for Brantley in 129 games, whereas, Gurriel hit 14 home runs in 73 games. And so if Gurriel gets his batting average into the 260s, which is very conceivable considering how low his BABIP was last year, he gets that into the 260s. He's got his on-base percentage up over 300, and that slugging percentage goes up to 500. And, if he can stay healthy all year, that's going to give us, probably 2 WAR. and paying Gurriel what he's making. Where's his salary? So let's just go to Gurriel. What's his salary? His salary is going to be $4.5 million, signed through 2023. So he's actually really, really affordable. So yeah, like I'm not really worried too much about that. So we're gonna hit auto play. We have to activate him, but he's still injured, so I don't know what they want me to do with him. Let's go place on secondary roster. Place this guy on secondary roster. Activate from injured list. Activate from injured list. All right. I guess that will work. Okay, so we have a personal message. Jose Rizzo was wanting for contract talks. I don't remember. Did I make him an offer? I don't know. Maybe you can go back and tell me. Check out the last episode. So he's a bullpen guy, and we can definitely need a bullpen guy. And he is, I guess we were trying to get him to see if he would sign for less money. So he could be a decent guy in our bullpen. So he wants a non-guaranteed contract with an $850,000 salary. I'm going to try to offer him $650,000 and see if he's interested in that. Ask for a response. Okay, so he's probably going to sign for that. That's actually the first time I've had that, where we have contract talks with somebody, and then they're broken off by the player, and then they come back to the table. So they want to offer us Scott Oberg, who's a right-handed pitcher, pretty decent right-handed pitcher, and probably would do better in Toronto. He's a ground ball pitcher, which I really like. Good movement. And he's getting $7 million, and they're willing to retain almost half the salary. And they want to send us Michael Toglia, who is a minor league first baseman. Yeah, he's got some major league potential, at least fringe-wise, at first base. And once we, if we stash this guy in the minors, so it's just looking long-term and just theorizing here, we stash him in the minors for a year, play him in AAA at first base, then we can move Vladdy Guerrero to DH next year, the year after, I guess, in 2023, and have Toglia. And he's got this home run power. He's a switch hitter, which is really nice. I actually want to see how he does. That's not too bad of a split. He's better against right-handed pitchers. Okay, so I'm actually intrigued. They want Forrest Wall. Forrest Wall, decent guy. Good tools. Not in my long-term plans. This is a deal that I can definitely get behind. So we're going to discuss this trade. Personally, even though Ross Atkins here says this deal does not make too much sense, I do want to look at Oberg one more time just to see his contract. Okay, so we have a team option, and there's no buyout. So this is almost like they're paying $3.5 or $3-something million for us to take him. And he might be coming back from an injury, but he didn't pitch that much last year. Lots of strikeouts the year before. I'm very intrigued. Very, very intrigued, because it's not costing us very much. Now, their prospects, their first top prospect is Grant Levine. Grant Levine, a little bit better overall than Michael Toglia. So it's actually not much of a difference between their top prospect and Toglia. Now here is Adael Amador. So he's got a lot of potential and good defensive stats. I wonder if I can add him to this. Okay, and they want to make it work. Let's see. Sometimes when they say make this work now, you can get away with adding a very poor prospect, and not in this case. If I got rid of Toglia, They still don't like it. Okay, we'll bring Toglia back in, and let's see if there's maybe a throw-in. No, this guy is not a throw-in. It's like after the top few guys, there is not a lot of juice in there. Caden Wallace. Yeah. If they will do that, maybe I can get away with that. Oh, he can't be dealt. Ryan Valade. Yeah, if they'll do it, I'll do it. But I don't think they will. No. They don't want to do that. So if this was the case, I would probably try to just throw in a guy like this, Trey Dillard. Okay, so he's got to think about it. And yeah, now we're getting into the types of guys where we can send like a scrub like Cree Finfrock. At least in the game. I like Cree Finfrock in real life, but in the game, I mean, just half a star, and he hasn't been very good. Or Will McGaffer. They'll take just a real throw-in type of guy, a lottery ticket. So I'm going to actually add Finfrock, and we're going to do it. Congratulations, folks. We now have a new pitcher in our organization. We're going to go to our transaction screen. Scott Oberg needs to be put on the 40-man roster, and we're going to put him on active roster. So we still have one more spot on our 40-man roster. Now, does Dolis have... I guess he does. I guess he is getting paid this year. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to take those two minor leaguers that we just acquired. Michael Toglia, he's going to go up to AAA. And the other guy was, I think, a center fielder, Kalen Smith. Nope, not him. Who? Oh, it was a pitcher. Trey Dillard, I think it was. Yeah. So he was in the Sally League last year. We're going to send him to Dunedin. Okay, so that does accomplish something. So actually that really makes things a lot easier. We got one of those pitchers, and so we're going to continue one of the pitchers that we're kind of after. All right, we're going to auto play until next week. And we're just waiting to see responses from our free agents. Now we have another trade proposal. We do have some free agent info. So Shoji Kinoshita has just told us that he favors our offer. Now we have another Japanese guy being offered, Yusei Kikuchi, also another decent pitcher. Not fantastic, but decent. And he's 30, and he's got one more year. He's getting $13 million, but they're offering to pay half of it. And he's got one more year, and then he hits arbitration because I think he was signed as an international free agent. They want Jonathan Lucre and Alfredo Chacon, and I think that's just not going to do it for me. All right, and we have another personal message. Here we go, personal message. Jose Rizzo. Okay, so Rizzo is getting a better offer from Minnesota. So now he just wants what he was asking for the whole time. So let's ask for a response. Okay, we'll submit that offer. Ta-da. Continuing. And we have another trade proposal. They want Luis Garcia. Yeah, it's the same team, same thing that they're offering us, and they want Garcia and Gurriel. So we say no, reject trade. And another trade proposal for it's time from the Yankees. They want to offer us Gio Urshela, who is, since he left the Blue Jays, has been pretty awesome. High average, good power. Didn't play that much last year. Pretty good defense. Got a good arm. Third baseman, Gio Urshela, and minor leaguer Pedro Barrios. So I don't like what I'm seeing from Pedro Barrios, and they want Sean Reed-Foley. And I think Sean Reed-Foley can still be useful. So also the fact that Urshela is older makes me want to just say no thanks. And the Pirates are offering Adam Aller, and yeah, that's just not a non-starter. And a personal message. Jose Rizzo, he wants a little more money. So let's go to offer contract. He's leaning towards the Cardinals. So let's offer him $1 million if he makes the major league team. All right. And we are back to the sim. We're at December 3rd. And we signed Shoji Kinoshita. So he is a outfielder, right fielder. He's going to be a minor leaguer. He's currently put in the DSL. But so he got his bonus. He signed with us, and he's 23. So I'm going to put him in Lansing for now. I'll let him start a little bit lower than I think he could probably do. Okay, they're casting Hall of Fame votes. Okay, who should we put in the Hall of Fame, folks? I am leaning towards not Todd Helton. I think Helton is very good. I've always liked Jeff Kent. Jeff Kent is my guy. I liked him when he was in Toronto. Yeah, we got to put Big Papi in. Andy Pettit actually really deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I'd say Manny being Manny should be in the Hall of Fame. A-Rod should be in the Hall of Fame. Scott Rowland should be in the Hall of Fame. Gary Sheffield. And I think that's it. And there's my ballot. I think we already got Bonds and Clemens and those guys in. All right, here we go. Another week. December 6th now. Trade proposal. They want Yandy Diaz. They want to give us Yandy Diaz. Yeah, and John Diaz, who is probably the key in this. He's got a lot of potential. Outfielder, decent potential there, good speed. And who do they want? They want Sean Reed-Foley. This is something I could discuss. So I like John Diaz. Yandy Diaz, however, he's not making too much money. And he has some potential, but just the fact he didn't play a lot, and when he did, he's just been so up and down. And defensively, first base, yeah, I don't think I can do much with him. I'm just going to reject this trade. But it's interesting to see that there's a market out there for Sean Reed-Foley. Okay, winter meetings are over. Career batting leaders in home runs. Barry Bonds. Okay. December 13th. Okay, we have to do the Rule 5 draft. So I want to go to my minor leagues because I probably have forgotten to protect somebody. So here we are, Buffalo. Anybody here not protected? Alejandro Kirk is. Anybody here? Kevin Smith? He hasn't been good at all, so I don't think he's going to get chosen. Same thing with Kevin Vicuña. Palacios hasn't been great. Luciano is going to move up to Buffalo. Winkowski and Spraker, again, neither have been... Spraker's been okay, but he hasn't been fantastic. Gency Diaz. Let's see. Moreno's on the 40-man. Poulin is not, but again, he hasn't really been great. Cullen Large, Samad Taylor. None of these guys have really been outstanding or are really highly ranked prospects. If you can see here, everybody should be demoted according to the AI. Johnny Aiello. That's the GCL. There's probably nobody here in the GCL. I'm going to go now to Lansing, see if there's anybody here. Joel Concepcion, again, they think he should be demoted. Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, there's not a lot of guys. Kinoshita, who we just acquired. And I'll just check Vancouver before we move on to actually doing the draft. Yeah, he's going to be promoted. Don't worry about, where some of these guys are. We're going to take, before the season starts in 2022, we're going to take care of all that. Okay, so Rule 5 draft pool. I want to see who is available. So where do I build? Oh, I guess I don't build a draft list here in this type of game. So I tend to go after potential as long as a player is sort of high enough skill at the moment that I think he can survive at the major league level. So for example, Michael Kirian, I think is actually, he hasn't really played beyond rookie ball pretty much, but a lot of potential here. So he's a possibility, but really not that possible. Edward Colina, not bad. He's a guy I could take, and he's 24. I do want to find somebody younger if I can. So let's say here, Alfredo Garcia is a starter, but I don't think he could hang at the major league level. Maybe give him another year. Hopefully he can develop enough that makes him a more attractive target. Brian Magdaleno, again, I don't think he's not going to hang at the major league level. Colton Eastman. Now, starters are really nice. He's got potential here for the movement. He has 2 solid pitches, so he can hang in a major league bullpen. So, and he's pitched in AAA. So Colton Eastman is actually going to be my top target. Austin Franklin, also another guy who I think could hang. He's pitched in AA and with really good strikeout rate. He was a closer, and he's got a fringe changeup that could make him a fringy starter, a swingman too. So Eastman and Austin Franklin, Alex Lang, he's a little bit older. Again, I think he could hang in the bullpen, and there's still some. 26, not the best age. So Colton Eastman number 1, Austin Franklin number 2. Let's see if those guys last until. Here we go, continue draft. And we're going to be picking fairly high because we were so bad. So here we go. We're going to auto draft for Cincinnati. And Cincinnati took Victor Gonzalez. We're going to auto draft for Texas, and they didn't take anybody. We're going to auto draft for Detroit. They didn't take anybody. And it's our pick now, so that means we get to take Colton Eastman. Ta-da. Okay, and so we're going to auto draft till next pick. And do we have any more room? Austin Franklin is still around, but I think at this point, I just want to take one guy. So we're going to skip this pick. And then technically, once you skip, it should be done. So yeah, now the draft is finished. There were only third rounds. And that was it. So let's go to the draft log. How many players were taken? Nobody was taken from our team, and just 6 players were taken in the Rule 5 draft. So we do have Colton Eastman now on our roster. And he's automatically placed on our Major League roster. I'm just going to check that, double check it for now. Pitching staff, so we should have Colton. Yeah, we do. Okay, so that's actually not a bad pickup, I think. We'll have to see how it works out. There are definitely some players here on the waiver wire, but I think we're at a 40-man roster right now. And we're still waiting to hear from our free agents, so or at least a couple of them. Where are we here? Reports and free agents. Yeah, we're still here waiting to hear from Rizzo and Paxton. And we are simulating, and we have a trade proposal. And Kevin Padlow. Well, he's got some pop. He's got some potential, but that's all in the minors. They want Espinal and Francisco Ruiz. Now, Ruiz is the one who's been doing much better, but we're not giving up too much. Yeah, so we're not getting offered very much. We're going to reject it, and away we go. Let's try to get to the new year. Okay, and Jose Rio, you know what? I'm just going to let him be because he just keeps asking for more and more. He's asking for $3.8 million if promoted. So, yeah, you know what? Go in good health, as they say. All right, we're still just waiting for James Paxton. And we signed James Paxton. We win the lottery. Okay, so Paxton takes a 1 year, $6 million. He's trying to rebuild his value. That means we need to go to rosters and transactions. So we have 40 men on our 40-man roster. We need to lose somebody before we can put James Paxton on. And since we have acquired Scott Oberg recently, we have Yohan Lopez, who we've acquired recently. So who should we put on waivers? I think we have to do a pitcher because we just don't have as many. We have so many pitchers on our 40-man. I think Spencer Turnbull is a little bit useful. Kyle Keller. So he's more recent, right? I think we claimed him on waivers. I may go with Thomas Hatch. He really struggled in Buffalo. So I'm going to put Thomas Hatch on waivers. And James Paxton is going to go place on active roster. Okay, and let's sim. And we've received a trade proposal. They want to send us Buck Farmer and Drew Dowd. So Buck Farmer, useful arm. Drew Dowd. No, they want Drew Dowd and they want Robbie. And they want too much. Go away. Go away. And we have so much fun here. More stuff from the Tampa Bay Rays. And a mediocre minor leaguer and Yandy Diaz. No thanks. I'm just going to ignore you guys. Okay, another trade proposal. Chad Green, who has been steadily getting worse, and Roansy Contreras, who, again, he's not, the stuff is good. And in Double A, he did pretty well, and he's a starter. And what are they asking for? They're asking for Lucroy. And Chad Green. That could be okay. And he's not making too much money. I think I'm going to do this one, actually. I think I'm going to do it. Oh, the fans liked Jonathan Lucroy, but yeah, so he was in Double A, so I'm going to send him to Triple A, promote to Triple A. So I have to add Chad Green to the 40-man. There we go. And his contract is just for 1 year. So I'm okay with that, and that helps bolster our pitching staff. And yeah, we're going to have I think Danny Jansen, but we'll also have Alejandro Kirk. And now we have, the makings of a decent rotation. It's starting to round into place, and we're not spending too much money. Thomas Hatch clears waivers, so I send him outright to Buffalo and clear him off right waivers. Okay, let us continue our sim. So it looks like right now I have a feeling we're not going to do too much more to improve the team. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the sim, or sorry, I'm going to pause the recording, and I'll just sim until spring training begins so that you don't have to watch it. And if something comes up, I will definitely show you what's going on. Okay, I just wanted to show you here, we're on February 1st. I just wanted to show you our player development update. Elvis Luciano gets some bumps. He got a pretty big bump overall, going from 2 to 3 stars, and potential going from 3 to 4 as a reliever. We may still see what he's like as a starter. Josh Palacios has lost 5 points on both current and potential power and current and potential I ratings. Cameron Eden has seen a lot of improvement, except for defensively at center field. Potential I up, current I up, potential power up, and current power up. Jency Diaz loses some stuff, and his movement rating goes up. Will Robertson contact rating improves, and overall rating improves. Nick Gonzalez contact rating drops, but his overall rating improves, which is a little strange. Victor Mejia, a 19-year-old catcher, both potential power ratings and potential I rating improve. Alex Sanchez, Bluefield, he's a rookie league guy. He gets a big bump here, potential rating up to 2 stars now. Drake Varnado, one of our draft picks last year, improving almost across the board here. Defensive rating at second base, 55 to 60. Potential contact improves, current contact improves, and potential rating overall to 3 stars as a second baseman. Nick DeMarco, another fairly new draftee, it was last year. He gets a little bit of a bump at shortstop and potential I and current I, and Trey Hondras. He's going into his 3rd professional year now. He gets a little bit of a power boost, but his overall potential rating drops, while Starlene Beltre gets a boost in current contact and current I. So that's our player development update. We'll continue to sim most of the rest of this month until we begin spring training. All right, so we're now at the beginning of spring training, and we're going to begin next sim with spring training. One notable thing to talk about here, Rafael Dolis has he had a setback, so now he's going under surgery, and he's gone for 14 months. So we'll ride out his contract and then just, release him or let him go. All right, so that's going to be it for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm JayBlue at Jays From Away, and you're watching on General Manager Games. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day, everybody.